There's a lady that works here at my current job. A few years ago, she got the news that her son had fallen from a tree. He was out deer hunting and went up in the tree to one of those stands that you can overlook for hunting. And when he got up there, I guess the thing was rusted and not stable, and he fell. And he was out there all alone, was able to call on his cell phone. But the bad news was he was paralyzed from the waist down. And he was in his 30s and getting ready to get married within 6 months. Horrible. Devastated. I mean, kid is depressed. That's just a bad situation. You're about to get married. You found the love of your life. And next thing you know, you'd have fallen out of a tree in some freak accident and you end up paralyzed. And his mother, she basically told him, she's a very religious woman, overly religious, because one of my coworkers used to date her. And she's very overly religious. And she more so tried to tell him, well, this was, something about God. It was just meant to be, God is, kind of like just playing down the fact that he's depressed and that he's going through a tough time. And basically, and what I'm trying to say is that it just reminds me of how we have to be careful as Christians, of how we conduct ourselves with people that are going through traumatic things. Because you don't know when someone's going to approach you with, oh, my husband has walked out on me. Oh, my wife, I caught her cheating. Oh, my kid is using drugs. And if you are in a self-righteous mindset, if you're in a mindset that you look down upon those that are not following Christ, you're not going to look compassionate. You're not going to look concerned. You're going to give them, just pray about it. And give them answers like that. And basically it's, don't bother me. That's what that really means a lot of times. I don't have anything for you. Go ahead. The Lord will work it out or whatever. Or they're, in so much, a better place. You don't worry about them. You'll find someone else. And all of that stuff. It's, to us, we think it sounds good at the time. But when we've all went through something. When you're going through something, when you're down and out, when you are really down, the last thing you need is somebody trying to come at you with a righteousness, a self-righteousness, or being overly spiritual to where they've plateaued themselves so high to where they can't get on a human eye-to-eye level. I remember several years back here, I was going through something major, very major. And I was depressed. I was really down. But one of my close friends, he said to me, hey, I just want to let you know, if you need me, I'm here. You need me. And I remember he came over a couple of times. Hey, get some stuff on. We're going out to dinner. We're going to go hang out for a little bit. And that was comforting. He wasn't trying to preach to me. He wasn't trying to give me, all of these fix-it answers. Sometimes you don't have to give a fix-it answer. Sometimes you just need to listen. And that's the problem with too many Christians. A lot of times we want to do all the talking, but sometimes people just need an ear. They need you to listen to them. Let them vent what's going on. Allow them to share the pain that's going on within their hearts. And just like this kid that's paralyzed, pain, suffering, wondering what's going to be his future now with this wife. Will she leave him? Will she, all of that stuff. I don't even know what happened with the, from beyond that event. But I know that when we go through something and stuff. Sometimes we just need somebody to listen. And we get a whole lot of Christians out here that is always trying to dip their nose into something. And sometimes you just got to get out of the way. Be there for them. Guide them. It's just like my neighbor several years back. Mr. Joe is what we call him. His wife, well, take that back. Let me start first. His daughter, their only daughter, was murdered. And here he was. He had a severe stroke 6 months before the murder, where he's paralyzed on one side of his body. His wife had diabetes and was blind. And I come home from work and see all the police at the house, and here they are, got the news that their daughter and the murder is still unsolved to this day. But they are a godly couple. And then she died just a few years later. And here he is. He's still my neighbor. He's there. He's trying to get it, go along the best that he can. He's in his senior years, 70-something years old. But he's still moving on. But when that happened, and I remember all the neighbors, because he was loved by all the neighbors in his church and everything. And I just went over, because I went over there and said, hey, I'm right here. I'll be there. You let me know. You need anything, let me know. And we took him some food and just got out of the way. And I always, and he knows. And there's times when he'll see me and he calls on me for the help and things like that. But sometimes my point is, you got to get out of the way and let the Spirit of God take the lead. And the Lord will show you how to go about that situation and how to talk to that person and how to deal with the situation. And it'll work out in the way that the Lord sees fit. And it's always good news to have somebody. And if you don't have anybody, the great news is sometimes that's all. We don't have a human person next to us like this on earth when we're going through something like that. One thing we do have is that we can call out to Jesus. We know that his phone line is open 24/7, and you can call out to him, and you don't need nobody else to call out to him. You don't need a priest. You don't need some other type of a Christian or a prayer line or whatever. You can do it, and he will hear you. So reach out to him if you're going through anything. Continue to call out to him as we go through our battles and struggles in life. On this channel, we'll continue to call out any issues that the church is sweeping under the rug. We'll call out anybody that's misleading God's people with false teachings. Evangelism for God is the channel. My name's Maurice Braxton. If you're new, consider subscribing. Hit like, coming along for the journey, because we're going to continue to give God the praise and glory on this channel. Until the next video, my friends, take care. God bless.